Thanks a lot, Steve. He's just 14 years old, but sounding very grown up at last year's CPAC conference.
I want the American people to understand that conservatism is not an ideology of feelings or romantic.
Your second book, for people who have not learned who you are yet, how the heck did you become so interested in politics at such a young age?
Well, I got involved in politics when I was 9 years old, and I really wanted to know what was going on. What did these terms that I was hearing on the radio or saw on television meant? And I started listening to different talk radio shows, like my friend Dr. William Bennett, whose show I was on yesterday. And I started going, and I started watching different discussions on television and hearing both sides of the aisle. I formed my own opinions.
And so this book, Defining Conservatism, you say that it's a history lesson, and it's a roadmap for the future. It's broken up into 4 different chapters, or books, actually,
well, they're books,
you call them. All right, so you say the first thing is you need to respect the Constitution.
And a rule of law. I don't think that it's simply just the Constitution. It's also the rule of law in general. The rule of law being the basis for the Constitution, yes.
You also say respect for human life.
Respect for human life, and that really gets commonly misconstrued as being a push for a pro-life message only. That's not all that means. It has great effects upon one's interpretation of the world if you interpret it as in an individual right, or as in the Hegelian sense, George Hegel's sense of as a state of being, merely just you're here to exist and that's all you are.
Folks, this is where we all look at each other and say, this kid's smart. Hegelian? Okay, number 3. I like this one. Personal responsibility.
A lot of people like that because whether you're a conservative or a liberal, no matter who you are, honestly, I think Americans really would like people to be a little more responsible.
I love that one because it seems that we live in this era now where it's always somebody else's
Exactly, and especially in an era where people think that, you know, if I mess up or if my business starts tanking, the government's going to come give me a loan and I'm going to be okay and we're going to be everything's hunky-dory and the government will solve all our problems. It doesn't work like that.
All right, speaking of government, your 4th book within the book is Limited Government. That's going to get liberals hot under the collar, Jonathan.
Well, I mean, I think that the most important thing to understand is that there are so many people who misconstrue this idea of limited government as being as simply meaning, you know, that we don't want any government at all, or that we're going close to anarchy. But that's not what we mean at all as conservatives. We know that there's a necessity for government and regulation and responsibility for the government to have in society. But that doesn't mean that the government needs to be all-controlling. There needs to be limits and boundaries on government.
Jonathan Krohn, Defining Conservatism, your 2nd book. It's already 5th bestseller?
On the conservative list, yes.
All right. Congratulations and good luck on the book tour.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.